Hey guys, we are here today in Valheim to go over how to make this semi-compact all-in-one base that's got a campfire with room for cooking, a fully upgraded workbench and forge, below ground chest storage, a rooftop workshop for a smelter and kiln, and can even fit a blast furnace up here as well, and a fully maxed out 17 comfort. It will take approximately 400 wood to build this building, depending on how uneven your ground is, along with how many chests you use, and a few other things like this. These materials do not include the upgrades for workbenches, forges, a smelter, a kiln, and any other of the accessories inside of the building. Just the wood cost in order to build the building itself. So the first thing we're going to do is locate ourselves a runestone, and we will place a 1 meter wood pole right in front of it on the ground. I'm going to go slightly off of center. That way we have our doorway opening directly in front of the runestone. And we're going to go 5 spaces wide. Now you can make this even to where it's 2 off of each side from the center one. I, however, am going to do it slightly uneven and go farther off of the right side. That way I have a large open walking area off to one side and it's not all cramped around the stone. We're going to go 1 layer forward from that, and you may have to add some 1 foot poles here and there to give it proper stability. And then we will do a total of 5 spaces back. Now, ideally, your entire area around the runestone is more level than mine is here, so you don't have such a large gap in the back. You can raise the ground if you'd like, but in order to avoid terraforming, we're just going to deal with it as is. You'll go ahead and go around the entire thing and skirt it with wood walls. Now, once we have the outline done, we are going to begin flooring it. Now, you can select where you are going to place your campfire, place some of the things we're doing underground, and some of the chests where they're going to go before we floor it, or you can do it after and just break out pieces as you go. I already know where we're going to be putting the campfire, however, so we are going to go ahead and raise up this section of ground in the front corner next to the runestone, since this area will not be used much at all. It'll be perfect for a campfire. And then I'm going to place down some chests. Now you'll see if we place the chest down on the ground, they do not actually get up high enough to reach, but what we can do, and it will take a little bit of finagling, is we will place these 1x1 floor tiles at about the right height, and then you'll just have to check it right afterwards. It's a little bit high. You might have to hold shift to make sure it doesn't snap, and try to get it in the right spot. And that's about perfect. Once you get 1 floor tile in, you can go ahead and just connect them on that, all the way down as far as you're going to want chests. And then we will floor in the other pieces right here, and you'll see that the chests have no clipping issues with the rest of the floor. Once we got the floor all completed, we will go ahead and wall in 1 level high around the entire thing. Be sure wherever you place your door that you remove the wooden beam underneath it, or else it will cause clipping issues when you try to walk up it. And then to keep things compact, we are going to use ladders for the stairs up, but you can just place normal stairs if you'd like. We're then going to get ourselves a little bit platform to get up onto, so we can place a hearth connected anywhere touching the runestone. Once the hearth is in place, we will be able to place a smelter and a blast furnace on top of it. I'm going to face the smelter to my left from where I'm at here, and have the coal intake next to me. And the blast furnace, I'm going to have both intakes, again, facing to me, with the dispenser facing the door. The kiln will be difficult to place from down here, so you'll most likely need to actually create yourselves a little scaffold system to be able to get up that high. Ideally, the kiln is going to be top of the blast furnace with its dispenser going to the coal side of both of your machines. It does look pretty terrible up there, but you can make it look a little better by placing some beams and angled sections to parts of the kiln to make it look a little bit better. But that's all personal preference. After getting all the smelters up and the kiln up, you can go ahead and roof it. We are going to roof it in 26-degree pieces, so we have no issues walking on top of it. And we don't need to place any stairs or beams inside of it like we do with 45-degree roofing. Since we know our chimney is going right here, I'm going to go ahead and kind of build that as I do the roofing. And if you need any ideas or tips on how to build some classic looking chimneys, you can check out one of my many other videos covering that topic. After we have all the roofing done, we are going to go ahead and place our forge and our workbench. I'm going to do it in the back right wall since I happen to know we are fairly elevated off the ground over here and it'll be easy to place upgrades underneath the floor. One important thing we need to deal with is the forge bellows take up quite a bit of room coming off the wall, and we need to kind of guess where our forge is going to go from there, since that is the only one that seems to be needing to be right next to the forge. Once that one's placed, we can get our workbench down, and then we can begin placing upgrades. I'm just going to destroy a couple floor pieces to be able to get access to the underground part. And then we will go ahead and try and place out some upgrades underneath the floor as tight as we can get them together. And the forge tool rack and workbench rack we can go ahead and just set on the walls. And while we have the floor open and we're down here, we are also going to be placing a table wherever we can get it underneath the floor, a basic chair, and then I'm going to open up the spot behind my runestone. And we are going to place our dragon bed underneath the floor where you can see the headboard, and then covering that back up. And our raven throne is going to go above ground, and then we're going to place a banner anywhere along the wall. Once you're completely finished below ground, go ahead and close that up. And now we have a tier 5 workbench and a tier 7 forge. Get ourselves a campfire down, and with the cauldron on it, you can still fit, if placed correctly, 2 cooking stations, one on either side of the campfire, although it might take a little bit of finagling. I am then going to place a fermenter in the corner and get myself a few rugs down on the ground, and the last thing that we are missing for comfort is a brazier. We're going to be placing that on the roof so you can get yourself some stairs or a ladder to get up to that level, and you can place those on whatever side you would like. And we are going to hang our brazier off the bottom of the kiln. And now we have 17 comfort no matter where we walk inside the house. Once you're up on the roof, I recommend lining the entire edge with 26-degree wood roof crosses, and this will work as kind of a barrier anytime you have coal or ingots dispensed, that they will not fall off the roof. And we're using the roof crosses since they are waterproof and don't need to be covered. On the coal intake side of both your smelters, you will need to place a small 1x1 platform. That way you can jump up on it and fill your kiln. And you'll see that things collect neatly on your roof, like coal and ingots, and the upstairs works as a workshop. Now, the only thing exposed to rain that are not waterproof are these 3 sets of ladders that we have. You could do a small porch canopy to cover the front ones, and the side here you could create a stair system coming from inside, but you'd have to remove a roof tile and deal with the complications of that, or just periodically repair those few pieces. On the inside, we have a functioning fire with room for a cauldron and 2 cooking stations. We have fit a fermenter, a fully upgraded workbench and forge, and we have chest spots, and you can add more of these spots in the floor wherever you would like, and get as many chests as you would like. As you can see from the inside that it is quite roomy. You could downscale this and even fit these things into a tighter format, but the 5x5 we have here is what's needed for every comfort item to be able to reach you, and is the largest you can go until you start missing comfort in some areas, potentially. And I'm not a huge fan of being in super tight, cramped houses, so I wanted to make this plenty roomy, but like I said, you can obviously downscale it and get an even smaller house built. The bed does function and allow you to sleep in it, and when you wake up, there are no clipping issues or getting stuck in the floor. Not to mention, because we're built next to a runestone, we do have some nighttime reading available before we head off to sleep. The only things that we do not have fit into this little hut is an artisan table, which you do need built in order to place the blast furnace. And as you can see, there's plenty of room for it in the house here if you want to have it, but it has no purpose for me after the blast furnace, so I have it destroyed. And then we clearly don't have a spinning wheel, although there's room, or a windmill. But a lot of these you will need in the plains, and most likely we'll have a secondary outpost there for these things. If you decide to build this house at a runestone in the plains, there is room inside here for a few of these things, and the windmill clearly needs to go outside anyway. If you have not progressed to the point of having a blast furnace yet, you can put the kiln and the smelter down on the hearth as opposed to the blast furnace, and they both will fit. You just may have to place the kiln first since it takes up more room, and make sure it's on there before you place the smelter down. Well guys, there you go. There is a super compact all-in-one house that can hold all of your forging and smelting needs, along with fully upgraded workbench and forges, room for chests, and a little bit of customization with how you lay it out. Hopefully this guide was helpful to you in getting a nice tight and compact house that can hold everything you need throughout the majority of the game. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.